2 years ago, this 18-year-old kid made a $1 investment into his future. 99 times out of 100, hell, maybe 999 times out of 1,000, this bet would have yielded him nothing. He would have moved on, forgetting about it the next day as if nothing ever happened. But this time was different. That single dollar turned into hundreds of thousands and soon millions of dollars. It created lifelong friendships, a career change, a move across the country, and well, a really fucking cool life that most people would dream of living. But before I get to all that, let's talk about why this happened. There's an ancient Roman philosopher named Seneca who famously said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." He argued that luck is not entirely random, but rather it's the result of being able to seize opportunities when they arise. When hard work, skill development, and readiness intersect with the according external events, luck is created. And that's exactly what happened on a gloomy night in Chicago. This is Philip Karch. It was December 8th, 2022 at 2:17 in the morning. Philip was wide awake, banging his head against the keyboard while trying to write a 10-page paper for his communications class. Naturally, he turned to doom scrolling as a way to procrastinate. That's when he came across a video of some rich guy in Miami who looked like he had life figured out. Out of blind inspiration, Philip sent this guy $1 and a message saying, "Been trying to get your attention commenting. I'm 18 living in Chicago. I want to live like you. My bad if I sound annoying. I'm writing a 10-page essay for college right now and this shit sucks. I want you to guide me and help me get to where you wanted to be in my position." That dollar disappeared into the internet void. Nothing happened. No reply or word of advice. At least, that's what he thought, until about 16 hours later. Philip got a notification that he had just received $1,000, and he was confused.
I thought I got scammed out of $1,000. I never had Venmo before. That was like my first time downloading the app. So I saw like $1,000 from Ben Bader, but I thought I lost that money. But then I like quickly looked at it, I like instant transferred the funds. I lost $29.80 to instant transfer, and I hit my bank account and I was like, holy fuck, like what the fuck just happened?
What'd you do next?
I like started screaming out loud in the car with my friends.
Okay, and then how'd you get in contact with me? What happened?
I sent you another $1 saying, "Thank you, I love you so much," and I put in my number, and then you FaceTimed me a few hours later.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then what were you thinking you were gonna do with that money when you first got it?
No idea. Honestly, nothing. Like I wasn't gonna spend it. Honestly, just save. Like that was my thought process. Just like save my money, and like I don't know, just like keep it in my bank account, have an extra $1,000.
That's where the story could have ended. Most 18-year-old kids would probably have spent that money on beer or sports betting or designer shoes, but not Philip.
I was like kind of clueless on what to do in life in general, and the only goal and purpose I had was like, how can I take this $1,000 and make more money with it? So Ben actually put me on to someone else and look into his coaching program, and I joined a free class, not really knowing anything of it, just like trying to learn a new skill. And I got sold on a free class. I took that out of $1,000, I took 600 of it and just paid once. It was supposed to be $1,500 in total, but I only made the first payment. But I learned that skill, and then that's when things started to take off, and my $1,000 turned into a lot more than just $1,000.
Phil Karch.
What's good, gang?
The people have been wanting you on the channel. Every single comment is, "Where's Philip? Where's Philip?"
I've been reading them. I'm finally here. So you're welcome, guys.
So Phil, it was a random night. Mm-hmm. I was sitting at dinner with my friend Sanjay, and I see a Venmo from you with that message. And I don't know, I think I was in a good mood. I had $1,000 sitting in Venmo, and I was like, you know what? Let's fucking send this kid a rack and see what happens. I really didn't think much would come of it. I thought like, oh, kind of bless you, and then like you'll remain a stranger on the internet.
Yeah.
I could not have predicted that 2 years later you'd be sitting next to me in a Miami and living in the same apartment building as me in Miami with a fucking $70,000 watch on your wrist. Like what the fuck, bro? Even just thinking about this now, it's absolutely insane. But I think your story and like that story in general is just like a really good symbol of creating luck. Like, yes, you did get lucky in a sense of me sending you that money, but that's where that story could have ended. Mm-hmm. Like, it could have just been like, oh, that was cool, and that's that.
New iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. You could have bought some random ass shit. But you decided to reinvest back into yourself and like also harass me asking for help afterwards. You're like, buddy, you sent me a rack. You're fucking taking me under your wing now. Like, so you would like text me constantly, like, what should I do? How do I make money? And I told you to get into sales. And then you bought a sales training course.
Yep.
And then I remember maybe a month or two after you bought it, you still hadn't really taken any action.
Yeah. It was a good couple weeks for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought you like still weren't gonna make it. I was like, oh, buddy's cooked.
Yeah.
But bro, I mean, just talk about kind of your thought process in first, like feeling that inspiration to even send me $1 and like go out of your way to find my Venmo, and then once I sent you $1,000 back, like what you were thinking as far as creating an opportunity out of it.
So the thought process of sending the Venmo in the first place, all I wanted to do, you can go back and watch Ben's old videos. Like for like a couple weeks straight, it was just me commenting the word mentor me on his comments.
And you had no profile picture and you were like user 6740.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't have a profile picture, but my name was still Philip Karch. But I would comment mentor me, and it was basically only you that I would comment on. I just thought like Ben had the lifestyle that I envisioned for myself. Like he had the Skyrise apartment in Miami, he had a cool group of friends that he would always post with. I think you had like a nice car or something. I don't know, like when you posted your life, the day in lives and stuff, I was like, fuck, like this is how I want to live instead of going down the college path. So I would like try to get his attention, never responded to me. And then I just like, I mean, you guys already watched it, but I was sitting and writing an essay and I was procrastinating, found his Venmo. I just like did my research and stalked him a little bit, just like find more about this guy. Like what did this guy do? What does he know that I don't? And his Venmo was in one of his captions. I think you took down the post, right? Yeah, but
it was a college post.
Yeah. It was at the bar, but and when I sent the Venmo, I didn't think of any like reward. No, for sure I did not think of $1,000. I didn't even think of like that's fucking crazy in the first place. But I just thought, how can I get myself connected with this guy? Because this is who I want to be like. Like that was the whole thought process of it. And after the Venmo, like that whole thing happened, the $1,000 I got in return, I like was fucking shitting my pants. Like that was like insane. Like I felt like when that happened and we got on FaceTime, I'm like, okay, this is the opportunity. Do not fuck this up. Yeah. That's all I thought about. And then I still have your he sent me $1 in return, or the $1,000 message. Sorry, it says, I don't know if you guys can see this, but he says, "I'm in a giving mood. Don't fuck this up." Like it's still my wallpaper because I still obviously don't want to fuck up the opportunity.
Well, you didn't, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's fucking insane. It's also crazy that like you turned out to be cool.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you.
Like it's one thing, like, you know, doing something with that money and like eventually making money on your own, but like becoming a part of our friend group, like that's the part that really blows my mind is like you fit in with us. But I guess that kind of goes back to what you were saying when you were watching me, like, oh, this is somebody that I relate to, that I could be like.
Exactly.
And then that's why you ended up kind of fitting in our circle as well. So after you get into sales, basically the path there is like find a decent setting gig. Once you make some money and you get some reps there, try to move into closing and potentially management eventually. So talk about your journey going from like complete beginner who is in comment sections of successful entrepreneurs to now being a successful entrepreneur.
Yeah, so I mean, with the whole sales thing, I feel like a lot of people kind of shit on the whole idea of like getting coaching and programs. And I did too when I first started. And I probably wouldn't have bought a program ever in my life if it wasn't for you, because I had like a foot in the door, I guess. But ever since I bought that, I was just like around people that were in the same space as me, and like that kind of motivated me as well, because like everyone around me was making money. And I bought my program, and then I actually did not do outreach as much as I could. I got my first offer from you. I just like kept begging him, like, bro, like you have fucking clients, like let me work with one of your
Bro said new method to get a mentor, just fucking harass them.
Yeah, so I got my first ever client, or the person I was working with as a phone setter from Ben. I was an Amazon guy, and then after that, I would just like build more connections, and like, yeah, you said the thing, like being cool, that plays a huge role in this whole thing. Like if I wasn't likable, if I was just like a complete weirdo, none of this would have happened. And since I joined the program and I was pretty cool, I got connected with the coaches and all the like cool students to be around. I got put on another offer, and I think like 3-4 months after that of like the initial buying the program, I scaled up to like 10K a month relatively quickly.
Is that when you flew to Miami? Like, remember when you just flew to nobody invited you.
Yeah.
You know, I love you, Phil, but you're just like, yo, I'm like coming to Miami. I want to meet you guys. Like the second you started making, which again, really fucking smart move.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Do you remember like
the thought process was like, dude, like you made me so much fucking money. Like, actually, I think it was, I told you, my first like 10K or whatever, what was it? 10K or 100K? I'm gonna give you 10K back.
Yeah.
But what's funny was like, I was just like, all right, I gotta fucking meet this guy. Like, that's how I'm actually gonna get connected with them. Like, it's one thing to be like on FaceTime with this guy once every week or two, to like actually being with this guy and like getting connected with him. So my thought process was like just going out there and visiting him and seeing him and seeing if we vibed. We didn't at first.
You were fucking weird, bro.
That was a huge mindset shift. But for like weeks, I was like, bro, like can I come to Miami? Like, is that cool? Like, can I sleep on your couch? He said no.
I said no. You're making money now. Get a hotel.
Yeah, I never spent money. That's the thing. Like, I was broke before. Like, I had barely any money to my name. So for weeks, I'm like, bro, like, can I come to Miami? He's like, yeah, like maybe like we're doing this thing this week, and maybe the week after you should come, and the week after, and like, I'm like, this guy keeps giving me excuses. I'm just gonna fucking book my flight. If he's there, awesome. If he's not, whatever. Like, So I booked my flight after contemplating for weeks, and then we got connected. I just like annoyed the fuck out of you.
Nah, you were cool by the end of it, though.
Yeah. The first couple of days, like,
but I mean, it was like you were like my annoying little cousin.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I wasn't actually annoyed with you. You know, I thought you were chill and you were funny.
Remember the bagel shop when I first landed? They're like, are you hungry? Let's go get bagels.
We went to Toasted, right? And what happened?
I was like eating the bagel weirdly, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? You don't know how to eat a fucking bagel?
It was like you took a fucking animal out of captivity and put him into the wild.
Bro, and that was insane. Like, I saw like my first, like basically my first Rolex that I had on my wrist was your fucking, whatever you had, Datejust or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had that on, and then I saw like supercars in Miami, and that was a whole different shift in mindset. And then, yeah, dude, it was all fucking crazy. Like, that's like when things changed since I like came to Miami for the first time. And I would do that like once a month or something like that.
Yeah, you were here every now and then. Yeah. And then you keep making better money in sales, get on a new opportunity, and then you move to Tampa.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so I think you guys know who, maybe some of you guys know, Kishan. He's like the head coach of this program, but he was like my best friend like this whole process, because we were basically doing sales together. We'd be on offers together. We work on the same clients. Like, we're always trying to get better. We were in the same programs and whatever. But he was like, yo, like, I'm leaving college. Like, I'm graduating. I have to move out. I'm gonna move to Tampa. Well, he's been in Tampa, but I'm gonna move to this one like nice area of Tampa. Do you want to come with? And honestly, I was like scared.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not.
Because you were still in your parents'.
Yeah,
like in your childhood bedroom.
Exactly. You know? Like, it's a hard switch to go from like making nothing to 10K a month, and then like still not spending anything, to moving 1,000 miles away, having like a decent amount of money saved up, but also like not used to spending money. Like, I didn't have bills, I didn't have rent, I didn't have anything. Like, everything was all paid for. Like, my food was paid for. I didn't pay for rent, and I was fucking like terrified. I'm like contemplating for months. I made a video on this a few days ago, but it was Kishan who was like, dude, like, stop being a little bitch, like, just fucking move. Nothing's gonna happen. Like, we're gonna grind this out together and fucking make it. And I did. And that was also a huge thing I did, was moving out of my hometown. That made me understand the psychology of money, of like being able to let it go for it to come to you, like the whole like energy behind it. And I literally, for a year straight, when I moved there, I sat in my room, I got fat. I DoorDashed 3 meals a day. I was spending 100 to 150 bucks on food, and 12 to 14 hours a day, just fucking grinding, taking calls.
All sales calls.
All sales calls. It was, I don't know if the horrible is the right word, but it was fucking a grind. Like, it was crazy. I wasn't going to the gym.
And you were making money though.
Yeah, I was like making 10K a month consistently, and then I moved out. I bought another coaching program, and that was like also my worst month I don't even think I told you this, but I barely made money the month I moved out. Like I say I made $5K a month. I don't even think I hit that. And that was like with a $16,000 coaching program I moved out with. I bought that month, and then I also moved out, and then I had to like pay for a fucking couch and TV. And
bro,
shit.
I had a period like that. My first month in Mexico, I think I made $3 grand.
Yeah.
And I was like, granted I was in Mexico, so everything was dirt cheap. But still, like I just left college, and I was like, okay, I gotta figure something out here.
It's scary, but like I'm sure you trusted your own ability, you trusted yourself, and you made it work. And I was the same way. Like yes, like it was fucking terrifying, but I knew like if I could just stay on this path, like I'm not gonna make less money than this. I can always just get on a better offer and just like make it somehow. So that's what happened. I went from that like $5K a month, and might have probably been even less, to by the end of Tampa, I was at $50K a month, like consistent $50K a month.
Yeah. And so I guess even before you got to 50, let's talk about getting from like 5 to 20. That was just getting on a better offer, right?
Yeah. Honestly, like a lot of sales, it matters if you're good or not, but like getting on a good offer is massive. Like that's huge. And you can't do that if you don't have connections. That goes back to the likable thing. I got connected with Mason, and because he liked me, because I met him in Miami, that's why he brought me on.
And we paid you $2,000 to jump in a fucking pool.
That also happened.
We were in Tampa for the weekend, and we were at this bar at the Edition. It was at the right.
Yeah. Only 5-star hotel.
Yeah, which is not a fucking like, bro. The Edition in Tampa was mid, but anyway, we were at the bar on the rooftop, and there's a pool up there, and Mason, Philip, and I are sitting there, kind of bored, nothing really going on, and we're all like fully clothed, obviously, and Mason says to Philip, "Yo, I'll pay you $500 to jump in the pool," and it's like crowded up there. Everybody's drinking, and it's like a night out.
And the pool's closed, by the way.
Yeah, nobody else is in the pool.
Yeah.
And Philip said, "No, you greedy bastard. Like, you just started making money. You should have said yes." He says no, and then Mason's like, "You know what? I'll pay you $1,000." And I'm like, "I'll double it." So now you have a $2,000 offer to jump in the pool, and you did.
Yeah.
We got kicked out. Yeah. But I think it was that night where we were like, "Yo, Philip, like, come close with us."
Yeah, around that time. Yeah, crazy. Cause I think like before that, maybe like DM set, like do like some shit, like the worst pile of work to do on Mason's team, and then after that, I started closing, and that was the jump from like 5 to 15, 20, 18, 20K a month.
And then I remember you stagnated there for a bit.
Yeah.
And you were like kind of annoyed, like thinking, oh, should I get out of sales?
Yeah.
Should I do something else? And you were asking me what you should do. And I told you to maximize the opportunity in front of you. That like there were all these other little gaps that nobody was really responsible for that you could go and fix. And you did just that, and that's what got you to 50K a month.
Yeah, so I basically just like scaled the sales team. I noticed this with a bunch of offers that I would work on. I would work on like 4 offers at a time at some point, but there were just like all these little cracks and holes in these businesses that the business owner is too busy worried about something else, like bringing in money, that like these cracks like wouldn't be fixed. So I would just like find them in Mason's business at the time, and just like try to patch them as much as I can, like to my best ability. And also like for a good amount of time, like I was just like, the first like 6 months of doing that, when I was stagnant, I was just like, like complaining to you. I'm like, bro, like this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed.
Right. It was like CRM needs to be fixed, Zaps need to be fixed, this needs to be organized.
And just like no one was doing it, even though like I was complaining. They're like, dude, like stop being a little bitch, like either fucking do it or stop complaining. So I was like, okay, I'll just do it. And I pitched Mason the idea. I'm like, yo, like let me do this and this and this for your business. I made a whole presentation.
I remember you like sat us down on a call, and you're like, I want to do this, this, and this.
I scheduled a call with Mason and you, and I didn't even tell Ben that we had a meeting. Do you remember that? And I set them down through like a whole presentation of like, this is what I can do. These are the profits that we can make in quarter 1 and quarter 2. And then by the end of it, Mason's like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And we didn't like have a structured price. I'm like, dude, let me just like do this. If it works, it works. We'll figure out structure later. And that's when he presented a structure in front of me. And like that was like the jump from consistent 15, 20K month to next month it was like I hit 30K a month, and then it shot to like 40, and then it was like 45, 50 and then consistently after that.
And that was all because you maximized the opportunity in front of you. You saw all those gaps, no CRM, no dialers. The setters probably didn't have a good script or SOPs, and you just went in and you fixed that. And like now that's a more valuable skill set than just sales. Obviously it's a valuable skill to be a good closer, but there's probably an abundance of solid closers. Not everybody knows how to use Zapier and build and close and manage a sales team. Those are a bunch of other skills that you stacked on, and that's what made you more valuable.
I basically became irreplaceable in a sense, and like I consider myself like a backbone of that business.
You know what's also interesting is I noticed this recently in you. I think being on sales calls frequently has made you more confident as well. I was thinking about when we were at Nylon during Art Basel, and you just went up to that girl, like no hesitation. You just sent it, and I was like, that's what happens when you have a lot of less comfortable conversations every day.
And she's bad. Like,
she's bad.
I think that sales definitely builds confidence, not only in your ability to actually sell, but also like with relationships and friendships too. Like I'm able to connect with people and like go into like a deeper, more than just a surface level relationship with a lot of guys, girls and guys, like friendships. Because I was like talking to people like 15, 16 people at a time, 30-minute, 45-minute conversations with them, and like no fear of rejection anymore. 100%. I agree.
And you learn to shut out that voice that's like nervous before a sales call or nervous to handle a certain objection. You know, like you just get more comfortable in those environments that most people aren't comfortable in. Okay, last thing, Phil, because it looks like the camera's about to die. But I guess if there's one main factor that you think has contributed to your success and you turning this thing that happened by chance into where you are now, what is it?
I tell this to people all the time, it's momentum. I feel like there has been very, if any, few days that I just like actually did no work. Like I always just did something. And that relates to the gym, that relates to building a business, that relates to, you know, focusing on your health or whatever it is. It's just like doing a little bit each day, even if it's like, you know, a little. And over the last 2 years that I've been doing this, it's been just over 2 years. We actually just celebrated our 2-year anniversary, but December 8th, a few days ago. You
got me a Birkin actually.
Still waiting for my ring, but it was momentum. Like I just did the work every single day, even the days that I didn't want to. It didn't matter if it was Sunday, if it was Friday, if it was Monday, like I just did something every single day.
Fire. I'm proud of you, buddy.
Thank you, dog.
Where can people find you? Actually, don't worry about finding them online. Thanks for watching. Peace, guys.